Welcome to Making a Difference. Today our special guest is Janis Black Warner. Welcome, Janis. I want to ask you what life experience or experiences encouraged you to get involved in philanthropy in the manner that you have?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm honored to meet you. And I would say my parents, Joyce and Stanley Black, made my life, philanthropy is a way of life. It's an everyday thing that we do. And my dad always said, when you give, it comes back in so many ways.
So has it been your father, Stanley, who's had the greatest impact on you? Is that your mentor who encouraged you and set an example for you to get involved in the many activities that you're doing?
My father has a lot of endurance, and it's not just my father, my mother. My father always brought us along to everything, and philanthropy it's not just giving back, it's, as I was saying, visiting an ill person in the hospital. It's making people feel good and bringing your energy into a situation. I'm celebrating my 30th year in philanthropy, and I'm really excited. I started when I was 17 years old. I volunteered at Vista Del Mar while I was at 17, 18 years old. I was at USC. I worked with the Home Safe in a camp with underprivileged children, and that inspired me in the Jewish Federation. I was involved in the Young Women's Evening Group, and my Aunt Jeannie Lippman owned a clothing store in Pico, and I remember I initiated a fashion show. At 18 years old, I had about 200 women to give money for the Jewish Federation, and that's what sparked me, the Jewish Federation, Vista Del Mar. And as I got older, my children were involved at Hawthorne School, and I became very involved in the PTA, and I started something that all 5 of the Beverly Hills schools adopted. It was called the Founders, because we do carnivals, and they cost us $75,000 to put on, and we'd make 50. And for parents, we got together, for moms, and we said, something's wrong here. So we also thought, we're going to start something with the Founders, and we called all the grandparents. Could you, because you know, it's the next generation, could you give to Hawthorne? And my father was interesting. We called him. He said, if you're going to ask people to give money, you have to have a wall and recognize them. So we started asking the grandparents, and then we started a wall by the library, and all the kids would walk by, well, why is our name not on the wall? So the parents would give $1,000, and you'd have each family member on the wall. And what I'm honored is, to this day, all 5 of the Beverly Hills schools adopted our Founders walls, and ideas that I implemented 20 years ago are being resignated now, and I'm on the board of ORT right now. And last weekend we painted the ORT school.
What does ORT stand
ORT
for?
is a technical, ORT is a organizational rehabilitation. It takes a person and teaches them a trade. And it's a 100-year-old school. And the way I was inspired to be on the board recently, last year my husband and I, around Thanksgiving, we went to Argentina and Buenos Aires, and my dad said, you have to visit the ORT school. And I was hesitant at first. I'm like, whoa, okay. So we got off 3 planes. We were on a 2-hour drive. We went to the ORT school, which was a high school in Buenos Aires. And it was the most inspiring 4 hours of my life, visiting with 2,000 kids, because they make it fun to go to school. They have a tract where if a child is interested in science or space, they're currently on Mars putting water on. And it inspired us when we came home, because we fell in love with what ORT does, and it teaches kids a trade, and not just children, adults all over the world. So we came home and joined the board, and we think out of the box. My husband and I, we got really excited. This past summer, we have many single friends, you know, past 30 years old. So we started this group, the Society Circle of Friends for ORT, and we had a cocktail party with 175 of our friends, and they're all single, and we invited our couples friends to bring their single friends, and it was fabulous. And now we're looking forward to a holiday Hanukkah brunch, December 11th, and we're honoring Gene Simmons, who grew up in Israel next to an ORT school, And
Really?
we're really excited. We're honoring Gene Simmons, Pepe and Rita Spiegel, and my nephew Zachary, who's 25, because he started a young next generation group at ORT. So
But why single people? Why are you inviting single people to this event?
and not just that the holiday brunch is everyone, but the group we started was for singles because we have so many single friends and it's hard to get them together. So it's also couples bring their singles friends, and it was just a beautiful evening that we did last July, and now every day we're getting phone calls they want to do it again. Also, I'm very involved. I'm on the board of Vista Del Mar. And
now, this is in order of your favorite. I know you told me you have 20 different groups you're involved in.
about 20, about 3 to 4 that I'm passionate about.
So in order, ORT is number 1, now number 2?
I would say the longest organization, there are 2. The Jewish Federation, which I'm on the cabinet, and I've been doing events since I was 18 years old. Vista Del Mar, I'm on the board, and I was past president of the President's Club, where we took 46 kids out to dinner every month and it would be at small local restaurants.
I'm sorry, but what does Vista Del Mar do? Tell everyone.
Vista Del Mar is a 100-year organization.
You only work with 100-year-old organizations.
It just
sounds
seems
like.
that all my organizations are celebrating 100 years in the past year, which is, I'm celebrating with them.
Jewish Federation's 100 years.
Mm-hmm. This past year is the centennial of the Jewish Federation.
Right.
And Vista Del Mar, which honored my father last year, and I feel very honored to have my parents still with me to continue our legacy of our philanthropy.
So Vista Del Mar, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but tell us what they do and what you do there, what you've done to help them.
What I've done, I've organized events with the children, with the President's Club. As past president, we organized dinners. I did a jazz festival with my husband last year and a half with Sheila E. and Dave Cause. We had 600 people that came on the grounds of Vista, which helps underprivileged children. We have a school for autism. Years ago it was an orphanage, and it was primarily Jewish children, but now it's for everybody, where it's a day school for 300 kids, and we found it's better to have them go home and be with their families than have them live at Vista. So we've kind of disillusioned them sleeping there, and now it's, just for the children, which is nice.
How many children at Vista Del Mar?
There's a day school currently with over 300 children. Right. And it used to be several hundred. There was many kids that stayed there. But they're finding, as I said, it's a wraparound program where they come to school and they go home with their aunt, uncle, family.
So Vista Del Mar for underprivileged children that need a school, a place to go to live and learn.
And it could be a troubled child. For instance, their father's in jail and the mother can't afford, she doesn't have the energy it's kids, it's not their fault that they're in this program, it's just how life dealt them this deck of cards. And it could be your child or my child that Vista helps, and that's why I like to see progress, and I like to be a part of the children. And I organized self-improvement nights where I had my friends from Chanel, makeup artists would come and teach the girls, and the boys would bring makeup home to their families, and I would teach them how to go on a job interview. And I teach them to look someone in the eyes and shake their hand, and I do arts and crafts with them. And it's interesting because the boys were just as interested. And I remember one time it was Mother's Day and Father's Day, we did little bookmarks, and the boy said, I don't have a father. So I said, find someone in your life that you would want that's almost like a father and give him the bookmark. And he said, thank you. So.
What percentage of the children there are not Jewish?
That's a good question. I'd say right now it's 80% Latino, African American. Good. Which is nice because it's for anybody.
That's terrific. That's good. So it isn't all Jewish. It's mostly not Jewish. You're just helping People. That's what you enjoyed doing. That's terrific. So there's number 3 coming up. So we've got Ort, and let's go to number.
Vista Del Mar and the Jewish Federation.
Tell us what you do with the Federation.
Okay, the Jewish Federation, you know, I've chaired many luncheons, and last year, I am on this group, Le Dor Vidor. And as I said, we think
What does that stand for?
Well, it's a Jewish term of giving back. And so we did a luncheon with 700 women, it was Valley women and the city women, and it was in a hangar down at the Santa Monica airport. And we had 3 chefs, local chefs, who are Nancy Finnegan, and it was celebrating our centennial. And it was just so fabulous because each chef picked something that inspired them. One picked the appetizer, another one did the entree, and the third one did the dessert, which I thought was funny. The dessert was chocolate pudding because her mother made chocolate pudding, and that inspired her. And they each told a story. And it's interesting because a lot of Jewish chefs are women and prominent in our community, and we like to show that. Another thing I inspired was the Pritzker. We had conferences, I was involved for 15 years. Jeannie Pritzker's mother gave a big donation to the Federation to teach young women leadership. And we would have coffees or dinners at our homes, and we'd have a woman speaker come with 100 women. And one year, I'm also very involved in Beit Teshuvah, which is an organization that helps addicts, whether they be alcoholics or anorexic or gamblers. And I met Henry Hill, who he wasn't Jewish. He's the Italian chef from the movie Goodfellas, which was about his life of being a chef in the kitchen in prison. So I had a cooking demonstration at my house. He did a night with 100 women, and it was a mafia cooking class. And I'm saying I always think out of the box because I don't want to sit, you know, you can go to a bunch of luncheons and dinners, but you have to think of something innovative that people are going to want to come. So that was a huge success, and to have Henry tell his stories in prison about being a chef and how Beit Teshuvah, a Jewish organization that started, is helping him become sober in his life.
Making a Difference will return right after this.
It sounds like you are extremely active in giving back to our community on many different levels. Is this something you do weekly? It's
something that, as I said, I'm celebrating my 30th year. I'm passionate. I do it every single day.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I have 3 children, and
Let's talk about your children. Let's talk about how you're getting them involved.
Okay.
And what are you teaching them about what you're doing? What would you like them to learn? What's the most important thing you want to pass on to them on this subject?
Well, I'm very passionate about giving back. And when they were young, as my parents brought me along to the Shriners, or my mother was president of the Sabras, Israeli Bonds. What's interesting is when my father, for 30 years, he's chaired for Vista Del Mar, a sports sweepstakes event at the Hilton, and there's about 700 people. And I would bring my 3 children along and set the tables. And my daughter was 15 and my younger son at the time was 10. And he's like, Mommy, why do we have to do this? What's the purpose of setting tables? What are we getting out of this? And at the time, the UCLA basketball team was being honored. And Joey's putting pom-poms on all the tables. And he said, Mom, this is ridiculous. Like, why don't they just have cheerleaders? I said, Joey, when you give and you do this, it comes back. And my daughter, Jenny, is the same. Like, why are we doing this? And I said, Jenny, she's putting all the table favors and on the tables, and she says, why are we doing this? So the event comes. They pulled their names out of a hat. Jenny wins a Sony laptop computer. I said, see? You give, it comes back. And Joey wins the tool set on the table.
Oh, my God.
And so it's not like that happened on purpose, but it's cosmic because I taught them you give, and it comes back. And I know my older son, Jason, is 24. He's a Pepperdine student, and he volunteered with Vista Del Mar in their golf tournaments. I remember one time he's driving to Sherwood Country Club. There's 2 hours of traffic. He said, "Mom, I've been on the freeway an hour. I can't do this. I'm going to turn around." And I encouraged him, "Jason, just go." And he did go, and he became a big part of that day, and it helped him with his community service, but it also inspired him not to give up, not to turn around, and to be a part of something. And it might be tough at the beginning, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So
that's terrific. Well, it sounds to us that the way you're encouraging, teaching your children about giving back is wonderful. And it sounds like from generation to generation it's going to continue, from your father and mother to you and now to your children. And my instincts tell me your children will do what you taught them with their children, which would be fabulous.
And I just want to finish with 2 things.
Please.
We have a family foundation, and I'm co-director with my sister, Jill, and we pick charities that we're passionate about. And we also continue my father and my mother, what they're passionate about. And my mother loves Children's Hospital, because when she was a child, she had a hearing problem, and they helped her. And they have a beautiful meditation garden that's with my family name. And it's not just, it's schools. My parents are very involved with Pepperdine, and my son's there now, and I feel honored to give back to educational facilities. It's as well. And I just wanted to give you a gift. My father's father, Jack Black, in 1948 wrote a book of inspiration which he'd give to all his friends. My father wrote 6 books of inspiration, and in 2004 I wrote my first book of inspiration. Wow. I guess I'm following in the tradition of giving back, and I've given out over 2,000 of these to, for instance, Bill Cosby, Bill Clinton, and it's something that will inspire you. And one of my favorite quotes is, "Look in the mirror, not the magnifying glass." Don't worry what everyone else is doing. Worry about yourself, and people treat you the way they feel about themselves. So if they're having a bad day, don't take it personally, and inspire yourself, feel good about yourself, and just give every day. And when you give, it comes back in so many ways. And you yourself are a philanthropist, and I'm honored to meet you and follow in your footsteps and inspire others to do what we do.
Well, it sounds to me like you've gone beyond that, and I've just met you 20 minutes ago. You're a wonderful person. I want to thank you for all you do for so many people in our community, and thank you for being here today, and thank you for joining us in Making a Difference.
Making a Difference will return right after this. Welcome back. We continue now by visiting a place very dear to our guest, Janis Black Warner. It's Vista Del Mar.
Vista Del Mar is a comprehensive mental health agency serving children and families. We work with kids who are socially, emotionally, behaviorally challenged, and really at times beyond the control of their families. Families come here for help when their kids are in trouble.
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm 16 years old. I got here to Vista because I was not doing too good at home. They helped me stop isolating myself, like going to the art room.
Vista was founded in 1908. It started off in Baldwin Park. We moved here in 1927. Right now we're situated on 18 acres in West Los Angeles. It's a magnificent campus. I think our families and children are very fortunate to have such a beautiful place to work on their issues. It's like an oasis, a port in the storm, if you will.
My name is Diego. I'm 14 years old. I've been in Vista for 2 years. I like when I'm mad, I get upset, I talk to somebody. I really do like that about Vista, and the food. I like the food a lot.
We have kids who come here for many reasons. Today, in our non-public school, we serve almost 300 children, some who come from the community here each day. We have almost 600 children who are in outpatient counseling, and we do almost 300 adoptions every year. Altogether, we'll serve close to 7,000 or 8,000 children in any given year.
My name is Fanny, and I'm 17 years old. I would like to be a social worker because I like helping people. When I came here, I was an angry person. I didn't have respect for no one. And then I started learning how to respect others, how to respect myself, and how to be more responsible.
We have a secure facility that was help sponsored by Joyce and Stanley Black. The program serves some of the most challenged children in Los Angeles County, kids who couldn't make it in other facilities. This program has served over 140 children to date, and I can tell you that almost 70% of them have gone on to what's called a less restrictive environment. Many of the kids who have gone to the secure facility have been to 15 or 20 other programs before they find their way here. To say that 70% go to group homes and 20% go back to families, some of whom they haven't been with in 10 years.
Hello, my name is Alex and I'm 14 years old. When I grow older, I would like to be an Air Force pilot. My hobbies are playing basketball, I like to play baseball, I read, I make origami, and I'm studying some Japanese. Here at Vista, I've learned to kind of control my anger, how to deal with it. I think of all the things that I have to lose. Out of all the places I've been, this is the best place I've been. I feel really safe here.
The cost of a child for each year is really dependent on the service that they get. But I can tell you that every child in our residential program is underwritten by private donations. Because without those private dollars, these kids wouldn't have their music lessons, their art, their drama, the wood shop. A special dinner that for these kids is just a treat. Or to have something that other kids have, a trip to Disneyland, would not be possible without the private donations. Speech and language programs, a bar and bat mitzvah program for kids who might not find one other places. That's what a private dollar does for a child at Vista.
My name is Marquis, 17 years old. Since I've been at Vista Del Mar, it's been like a 100% turnaround. I'm president of Vista Del Mar Student Council. I started a snack bar, and now what I'm trying to do is start a student mentor group to help some of the kids that's in need.
Vista's really here to help build and preserve, restore families. We hope no one would ever need us. But if your child's in trouble, people say, where do I go to help my child? We want to be the first place you think of and the last place you'll need for your family.
Let me fill your heart with joy and laughter. Togetherness is all I'm after. Just call my name and I'll be there. I'll be there. Oh, oh, I'll be there to comfort you. Build my world of dreams around you. I'm so glad I found you, yeah. I'll be there with a love so strong. I'll be your strength. You know I'll keep holding on.
Thank you for watching Making a Difference.